All right, so everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David Baruch Hashem. I wish everyone a Shvua Tov and a good Vach, and I hope Slichas were beautiful. Slichas were beautiful, Baruch Hashem, and hopefully Hakadosh Baruch Hu hears our tefillas. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. And we say our tefillas with our full hearts. Okay, today we're going to learn Likutey Halachos with Siyata D'Shmaya, of course. We're in the Hilchos Netilas Yadayim, washing our hands for the Suda, for the bread. All right. We're in Halacha Vov, and today we're up to Kuf Hey, so 105. Okay, 105. So let's go over a few things first before we leave what we learned in the past few days. And we learned about this the idea of the Yerech Esonim, which is the month that has all the holy days in it. Right? We have the month of Tishrei. Right? We have the month of Tishrei coming up. Right? Rosh Hashanah is the Rosh Chodesh for Tishrei, and we have all the holidays, the high holidays in the month of Tishrei. All right? We have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We have Sukkot and Shmini Atzeres. All right? And we make all the different tikkunim of our kibbutz when we get together. All get together on Rosh Hashanah. Right? Everyone gets together on Rosh Hashanah. All the beautiful things that we learned about that, especially going to the Kivrei Tzadikim, especially being in Uman. Okay, Yom Kippurim, and then when it comes to Yom Kippur, that we are working on making rekindling friendships and taking care of our problems that we have with all of our friends and people and family. I'd say family first, maybe, because sometimes you have the family feuds, right? Right? So it's a very, very important thing, because again, we want to bring everybody together. If we're fighting with people, we don't have unity. So the whole point is to have unity. We learned that. That's very, very, very important. And then we talked. Huh? Yeah, Reish Pei Beis, right? Yeah, Zamri. You have to also forgive yourself. Yeah. Right? No, it's very, it's easy to forgive yourself because, Hashem, look, I wanted to do the right thing. I realized I didn't do the right thing, Hashem. I'm sorry for that. I didn't want to do these things that I did. I did not want to do them. My will was to be connected to you, and I realized that's not what I did. But again, I realized that only my will is my control, but what I actually do, it's up to you, Hashem. So it's not hard to forgive yourself.
Well, I respectfully disagree.
You disagree? Okay.
I did something back in '89.
Yeah.
It took me probably 40 years to finally realize I need to forgive myself, and I was able to forgive myself.
Okay, fine. But again, whatever you did, whatever that was, you don't have to tell us what it was. Whatever you did, okay, was because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted you to do that thing.
Yeah, when I had a big enough ego to think
I
would invest.
It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter what it was. It was Hashem that caused that to happen. It wasn't you. When you think it was you, that means that's a problem.
Right.
It was Hashem that did that. Okay? All right, anyway. Okay, got that? Right. Everything we do, good or bad, we have to thank Hashem for. Because again, whatever we actually accomplished, I only accomplished what I accomplished because Hashem willed me to do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. Right? Okay, then we talked about the sukkahs. And then we all go into the sukkah. Right after that, we go into the sukkah, right? And the whole idea of the sukkah is the makif, right? We have that thing that surrounds us, right? We have the makif, and then the schach is above us, which is like the upper world. And then we're in the lower world, and we're trying to bring into ourselves. We're trying to understand the ideas of the things we don't understand, and we're trying to bring those things inside of us through the ramazim, through the hints. Right, through the hints. That's why we take the lulav and the esrog, the four species, and we shake them to remind us, wow, Hashem, oh, you're over here. Oh, Hashem, you're over there. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, you're here too. Oh, you're there. You're up. You're everywhere. It's all about the hints to remind us to remind us that Hashem is above us, to remind us that we're in the world and Malay Chalaretz Kavoidei. Okay, and then we have the idea of the whole Yontif is to gather in. The whole Yontif of Sukkot is gathering. We all gather people together to all come into the Sukkah. It's also the time of gathering from the fields, right? And that's why we said that we read Koheles at that time, because the King Shlomo HaMelech, right? King Solomon, he gathered together all of the people at the time of Hakel. When they all came together on Sukkot, they all came together. He would read from the Torah. He would give them give them a teaching to bring them all together. He would bring everybody together. That was the whole point, to bring together. That's why we said, that's why the book is called Koheles, because he would bring everyone together. That's why Amar Koheles says, why is Koheles? That's Shlomo Melech. He's saying because he was in charge of bringing everybody together. And we said that's what the tzaddikim do. The tzaddikim bring everybody together, right? The greatest the demonstration of that today in the world, I believe, is Uman, right? You want to see people, all different kind of people coming together. It's fascinating. I mean, literally fascinating. People coming from all four corners of the earth, right, to this the decrepit place, right? All to be together, all to be together with the tzaddik. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable.
I think it's even more than
more people that from all walks of life, from any kind of background you can imagine, they're there,
and they have unity.
And this unity. That's right. That's the point.
I forget his first name. Klein. He lives in. He used to be here in Jerusalem, but he moved to England.
Yeah.
Something Klein.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Young guy.
Yeah.
Yaakov Klein.
Yeah.
So
He's in England.
he had a thing about Uman. Another guy was talking about Uman, and he says, he says the only thing he think he could compare it to must have been like the three regalim when everybody would come
together. Yeah, all people came together. Yeah, today there's nothing else like that.
Yeah.
No, because even here in Israel, when people get together, so they're all part of Israel. They're coming from here. They're just going to a place.
Yeah.
Here you're talking about people. No one's really from that place. They all literally come converge on this one place. That no one's there before. Okay, maybe there's a few people, but the masses, it's unbelievable. Okay, anyway, that's the idea of gathering together. Then we have Shmini Atzeres, which is the final tikkun for the whole month, for the whole month of all of the Rosh Hashanah and the Aseres Yemei Tshuva, Tzim Gedalia, Aseres Yemei Tshuva, Yom Kippur, the 4 days, the Sukkot itself, the Nisach HaMayim, right? There's a water libation, and we have the Simchas Beis HaShueva on Sukkot, and we have the Daled Minim on Sukkot, and the Mitzvah of Achila in the Sukkah, right? All of that stuff to come to Shmini Atzeres. It's all to come to Shmini Atzeres. That's the final tikkun, and that's why we have all the different karbonas when it comes to all the other. When it comes to Sukkot, right, we have 70 different bulls that we brought every day, and for all the 70 different nations, right? But when it comes to Shmini Atzeres, there's just one, Par Echad. There's only one that's between us and Hashem, and that's the most beautiful. That's the final tikkun for the entire month, the whole everything going on. Okay, then we said it came over there that. We learned the idea of Amalek, right? We learned the idea of Amalek, right? When it came to we're sitting in the sukkah, right? And we're sitting in the sukkah because we have the Anani HaKavod, right? The clouds of glory were over us. And then we said, wait a second, when Aharon passed away, the clouds of glory left us. Right, the clouds were in his merit. We're in Aaron's merit. We had with Aaron's merit. We had the clouds of glory. Okay, and at that time, the king of Amalek said, "No clouds of glory. This is a good time to attack." Remember, right? It's a good time to attack, and he attacked us at that time. And who did he attack? The ones that were straggling along behind. Right, those that were pilot outside the Avnei HaKavod, those that didn't believe in Hashem, those that believe in the protection of Hashem, they were the ones that were pushed out of the Avnei HaKavod. They got thrown out. They got spit out.
Really?
They got spit out. Yeah, they got spit
And I
out.
was wondering why the other Israelites didn't like, hey, come on, we're gonna.
Yeah, they got
Why
spit.
they didn't help them?
They got spit out. Yeah, and then they started running. They started running. They started running back, going back to Egypt. They started running back. So what Hashem said, the snakes, He sent these fiery snakes to chase after them. Right? They were getting bit. They were dying by the droves. It was terrible. So Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, make the copper snake. Make the copper snake and put it up on a post, and then they're going to look at that and they'll be healed. And then we ask the question: was it the snake that causes life and death? Is it the snake? No, it's Hashem. No, but when they looked at the snake, which was a remez, again a hint, they realized the same way when Moshe Rabbeinu's hands were up, they were winning the war. Why were they winning the war? What made a difference if Moshe's hands were up? No, they realized they had to look up to Shemai, and they looked up to Hashem, and that's where the salvation is going to come from. It was the same thing with the snake when they had the copper snake, and that's the same thing with the lulav, the shofars, all the same idea, making these ramazim, hints. They're all hints to come back to Hashem, to connect back to Hashem. All of them are hints, right? They're all hints. All right, so that was pretty much what we did last week. Okay, we spoke about also the honey, right? The honey, we did the seven. We did in the parsha in Parshas Eikev in Perek 8 and Pasuk 8. So it goes over in Devarim, Sefer Devarim, chapter 8, Pasuk 8. It goes over the 7 different species of Israel, right? And it starts off with the word Eretz Chita U'Sa'ira, and it ends off with Eretz Zayt Shemen U'Duvash, right? So we want to take the first one, which is Chita, which is the bread. The finest bread comes from the wheat flour, the white flour, right? The one that's refined, the refined flour, right? And we want to mix it together with the honey. Why? Because honey, we said, has all sweet things stem from honey. All sweetness, anything you eat sweet in the world stems from the honey, right? Anything that you eat that has any oils in it, salads or whatever you're having with oils, that has to do with shemen zayit, olive oil. That's the main one. Anything of bread, all breads connect back to chita. That's the main one. Why? Because we said that the same way when you eat something sweet, it has the taste. You're tasting honey. It's the taste of honey, right? And in honey, you can really taste all sweet things. Anything sweet you want to taste, you can eat honey. You can really taste anything sweet that you would like to imagine. You want to eat, let's say you're having honey, you can imagine cotton candy. You can imagine you're eating ice cream, whatever. Sweet, what? Chocolate bar, right? Whatever. Yeah, anything sweet. You're eating anything oily, right? So you can connect that back to something. But we said when we're eating bread has a taste of everything. Bread has the tom of everything,
even the sweet.
Sweet, and it has oil, whatever you want. It's all found in bread. That's the first one. So we take the first one together with the last one, with the honey, and we dip it in there, right? Because we said all ending things are all din. Anything that ends is din, right? That we said the word shofar, right? Shofar starts off with shin, vav, pei, rei. Shin, vav is the same gematria as devash, right? Devash, honey, right? 306. Then we said the guy takes the shofar in his hand, in the yad. That's 14. 14 and 306 is 320. Magic number for forgiveness. Okay, and then we said that
Baking raisins in the challah, that's the basis. The fita and the sweet.
Okay. Raisins that come from anavim, they come from grapes.
They come from grapes.
Yeah, but raisins come from grapes. Well, here we're talking about the vash. But you could put honey in your challah too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? People put honey in their challah, right?
Oh, yeah.
They put honey, they put sugar for sure. For sure, they put sugar in challah, right? Right? All right, whatever. Listen, of course you can have dates. Put dates in your challah too. Why not cut up dates? Put dates in the challah. Put figs in the challah. You can no problem.
What's the blessing you say after grapes?
You make the ala michya.
Michya?
Ala eitz. It's part of the Brachah of Ala Michya. Ala eitz val priya eitz. No.
Somewhere you do geffen because it's.
No. If you drink wine, how do you drink
If you
wine?
had the Birkat on the zone, if you had wine.
That's just.
You had grapes, or you had figs, or you had figs, or raisins, and things like that. Those things. Then you would make the ala eitz. Pomegranates. Yeah, there we go. Olives also. Okay, so that was that. Now, all these things that we learned about before have a beginning bracha and then an end bracha. Right? When you eat your fruit, right? When you eat your fruit, you eat an apple. So you make a borei priya eitz, and then you make an ala michya after, right? If you're eating one of the seven species, so then you would make the specific bracha for that one as the end bracha, right? Like we said, the ala eitz or ala gefen, right? Or ala michya, ala priya, either way, whatever. There's a concept of making a bracha before you eat it, and then there's a concept of making the bracha after you eat it. All things. But it doesn't work that way when you smell something. You ever think of that, right? You can have all different kind of besamim, right, from all different places of the world, and spend hours smelling different kinds of besamim. So you make one time a bracha b'orei minei besamim, smell it, and then go around smelling all day long. No problem. Keep smelling different ones. When you finish, there's no after bracha. Well, why not? Now we're going to learn that. So why is there no after bracha when you smell things?
There is
But when you eat something or drink something, there is a bracha. If you're eating bread, you're making your benching, whatever it is. There's such a concept of before and after. But when it comes to smelling things, we don't. Now here's what he says: Kuf hey, v'zeh b'chinas birchas hayareach shemevorchin lefanav aval achrav ein tzarich levarech klum. Right? The Shulchan Aruch says. Right, this is an Chaim in Simach Reish Tes Zayin Siman Al. Right, okay. So the Shulchan Aruch says when you smell, right, you're having different kinds of spices. You're smelling different spices, so you make the first bracha, right? But you do not make the after bracha. Ki ikar kol birchas hanenin. Because when it comes to all the brachas of things that we enjoy, birchas nenin, right? When we make brachas of things that we delight in, like you make your shahakol, your gefen, you make the hamaitzi lechem in haaretz, the borei priya eitz, the borei priya dam, all the different things. Those called the birchas nenin, things that you enjoy from. You make brachas on. Hu b'shvil legalei selahoyer. In order to illuminate, to legalize, to reveal, and to illuminate, bechinas reach hatoiv v'anifla. You're trying to find out in the bling. You're trying to reveal Hashem in the thing that you're eating, right? You can have your coffee. So make shahakol niyeh bevari. Oh, there's godliness. Hashem is found in this coffee. Shahakol niyeh bevari. Oh, Hashem, you're in him. Eloi kol haaretz kivodo. Hashem, you're in everything. We're revealing that Hashem is in that thing. You understand? This is amazing. This is a very powerful thing of ratzon. When you eat something and you realize, wait a second, Hashem, you gave me this. Hashem, you gave me this great coffee. Well, it was you that gave it to me. Wasn't that I made it? You gave it to me, Hashem. You feel gratitude to Hashem. Right? We had the Bikurim, right? They felt gratitude to Hashem. To thank Hashem, feel connected to Hashem. I want to get to know you better, Hashem. You're so kind to me. I want to get to know you better, Hashem.
But it also has a fragrance. The coffee has a nice smell to it. So does that mean you could say the blessing?
No, but you're not making a blessing on this fragrance of the coffee.
I know somebody who never drank coffee.
Yeah.
Abdullah would take the coffee and make a coffee in the bath.
Okay, I don't know.
He's a very learned guy. He was a rabbi.
So he made, so he used it as, but that's not the bracha. I mean,
B'Samim when he smelled the coffee.
Okay, but the coffee is not a besamim. He liked the smell. Okay, fine. Okay. Listen, I don't know. Maybe he could. I have no idea what he was doing, but I don't know anyone else that makes a meaning besamim on drink and smells coffee. Right? I don't know. Do you know anyone else?
Besides him, no.
You don't do that, right? No. Okay, and no one
What
here
is a
does.
besamim?
Besamim are spices.
Spices.
You know when you make Havdalah, you have a little thing of spices right there, all different types of things. They put all different kind of spices in there,
Spices.
right? Okay. So you can come to this real connection to Hashem while you're eating. Again, if you pay attention to the blessing, if you pay attention to what you're saying, right? It's something we were talking before, right? You have intent. You realize what I'm doing here. I'm connected. Well, this nut I'm eating, these seeds I'm eating, this coffee I'm drinking, or this sandwich I'm eating. This is from you, Hashem. So you feel gratitude to Hashem and you want to thank Hashem. You want to feel close to Hashem. Ki oras haratzon zoichem b'shas achila al yedei. This connection that you get to Hashem while you're eating, right? Al Yedei Klolius Beinu Talmud. The same idea we keep learning about this idea, the Bein and the Talmud, the son and the student, the son and the student, the son and the student, right?
Son and the student. I thought they're not talking about the student and the tzaddik, or no?
No, it's the same idea, right? It can either be we have the same. Here was a Zeh Zoichen idea ayira hakedoishes hanigeshes ubo el adam b'shas achila. Look at these words. V'zeh Zoichen ayidei hayira hakedoisha. A person comes to a fearing God, a holy fear. He says yira hakedoisha, a holy fear. That means you're not fearing Hashem for some silly reason. You're fearing the reverence of Hashem, right? The reverence. That's what Kiddush is. You feel the reverence of Hashem. Not, I'm scared of you, Hashem. No, I feel the awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the reverence of Hashem. That can come to us while we're eating. Look at this, Chevra, listen to this. You can come to this connection to Hashem higher than anything else while you're eating. It's fascinating. It's really, truly fascinating.
And it works. I mean, you actually do. I mean,
As the Rebbe brings in the second book in lesson 77. Ala posik le'eis ha'oichel goishi haloim. Look at this word, right? This is in Rus. Le'eis ha'oichel goishi haloim. So what does that mean? So haloim actually means the Peshat of Haloim is this idea of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? This idea of Haloim is Malchus. The idea of Halom is also Malchus. I'm connecting to the Malchus. Okay, listen to this. Listen. Malchus is the bottom, down here, right? So when I connect to this Oros HaRotzon, to the Malchus down here, the Malchus goes up on high. I send the Malchus up on high. It goes to that Yama Chochma, takes down all the bounty, all the blessing that it needs, and it brings it back down to me. The Malchus. The Malchus goes up, right? When I feel that gratitude to Hashem, when I realize what I'm doing. So I'm revealing the Malchus of Hashem in this world. Right? Hashem is a king in this world. Miloi chalaretz kavodo. So when I eat and I recognize Hashem in this world, I'm revealing His kingdom, His kingship in the world. So the kingship goes up, it brings me back down all the blessing that I need. That's what we said, when you're eating, you can bring your pranasa, can come to you while you're eating. How do you like that?
you can also get that.
You can get, of course you can get das, but here you can get even physicality. You can get with the physical things that you need. Because this ratzon, this will, this desire This connection of gratitude to Hashem comes while we're eating. Fascinating. Rak she'amalchus she'i ikka hayira mekabelas haparnasa miyadayim sheyesh b'yam ha'chochma. So the malchus, right? The malchus, which is the kingdom of Hashem that we reveal in this world, it goes up on high to the yam ha'chochma, the yadayim b'yam ha'chochma, and it brings down everything that we need. Unbelievable. That we're discussing right now, this whole idea that the parnasa comes down while you're recognizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, recognizing Hashem while you're eating. Fascinating. Okay, the ikar kol habrachas achroina shemavarchin achar achila hu b'shvil zeh. And what is the whole idea that we make a bracha achrona when we finish eating? Why do we do this bracha achrona when we finish eating? In other words, I finished eating. So why do I have to make another bracha? What's going on? Lahamshich hayira al atzmai, in order to bring this yira upon me. In order to bring this holy yira, the yiras Hashem, the yira kedosha, not to be scared of silliness, but to bring the holy kedusha upon me while I make the bracha achronos hayadei zeh meir harotzon. That's how you can shine this rotzon, this beautiful das, this beautiful rotzon, this beautiful will, this beautiful malchus. Ki bracha rishona mevarchin legales ki meloich halaretz kavodai. Because when I make the bracha, the initial bracha, when I'm about to eat something, so then I'm revealing meloich halaretz kavodai. Hashem, your covenant is in all over the world, everywhere, even in this food, even in this cup of coffee that I'm about to drink. Hashem, you're in this cup of coffee. You're here, you're everywhere. His galas hadas HaKadosh, it's a revelation of this das, of recognition of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. Ki kishemevarchin laHashem yizbarach hu maidim shehu yizbarach hoitzi alechem min haaretz. You're making a statement. Hashem, you were the one that took this bread and took it out of the ground. It was you, Hashem. Ha-moitzi lechem min haaretz. Hashem, you took this lechem out of the haaretz. You took the bread out of the earth. You ever see that? Did you ever plant anything? I remember planting a garden. You plant these seeds. It's fascinating. You plant seeds. I did this years ago, and I think about it all the time. You plant a seed in the ground, you put some seeds here, I put some seeds in the backyard. We put different kind of seeds. I planted seeds, and then I see this little thing starts coming up, and the next thing I know, I get tomatoes. Or in the other one over there, I planted some seeds, and I got cucumbers. Over there, I got squash. I was like, where did these sweet tomatoes, where did these cucumbers, how did this come about? Where did this come from? It was Hashem that took it out of the ground. It was Hashem that took the bread out of the ground. The farmer planted, right? He did his he did his charisha, right? He did his he plowed, and then he planted, right? And then he had to prune, and he did all the things in order for him to be able to make his harvest. But where did it come from? It came from you, Hashem. Let's think about that. Bayri Priya ate that beautiful apple, the beautiful esrog, the beautiful pomegranate, the beautiful dates, the figs, the olives, came from Hashem. Ubezeh megalin and mefarsim shem kivoidei malchusa yizbarach shu meloich halaretz, meloich halaretz. That we show that HaKadosh Baruch Hu fills the entire world. He's involved in every nuance of everything that we eat. He was the one that brought it about. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that's watching everything. He's mashkiach. We think you have the mashkiach in the place. He's the guy watching. Hashem is the one watching everything. He oversees everything. The mashkiach means he's overseeing things, right? So what's Hashem? Hashem is being mashkiach. He's watching over every little thing in the world. Anything. Shekol zehu bechinas meloi cholotz kavod. That's all part of meloi cholotz kavod. Hashem fills the world with His glory. Everything is part of His glory in this world. Even the bread that came out of the earth, that's Hashem. Shu bechinas hadas. This is the nas, knowing, recognizing this. We say in the Shmoneh Esrei, chonein hadas. Hashem, give me das. Bestow me with das. Give me das, Hashem. This is the das we're talking about. Recognizing Hashem in the world. Now we're learning specifically when you're eating. Specifically when you're eating, recognize Hashem. He gave you that thing. He made that thing. It's unbelievable. You should try that. Go get some seeds. Plant them in the ground. Watch the thing come out. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. I mean, you know, kids today, they think that the tomatoes grow in the supermarket. They come, they have no idea. A lot of adults don't know the difference either. I don't know. They go to the supermarket, the tomatoes are there. I don't know where they, huh?
All the tomatoes, the chickens also grow in the supermarket, in the freezer.
They grow in the fig, yeah. Okay, but we're talking about the things from the ground, so that's why we're using. Right. Now you go to the butcher and you get your steak, right? You get your brisket, right? Or you get whatever you like to eat, right? Hey, it was a cow, and that cow was alive. Why? Because it was eating grass.
And you were a little embryo at one time.
Right. That cow was eating the grass, drinking the water that Hashem provided. That's why he's here. That's why you have the steak. And then you eat the food, right? After you made the bracha, now you eat the food. Oh, and when you think about it, now I'm eating it, you go, wow, Hashem, you made this vegetable, you made this sandwich, all these things here, this fish I'm eating, this steak that I'm eating, whatever I'm eating. It was Hashem, you were controlling it. We make Kiddush on Shabbos, we say Yam v'es kol asher bam, the sea and everything that's in there. We have no idea what's going on in the sea. But Hashem takes care of that too. Right? You go have your fish. You have any idea what's going on down there? We have no idea. Who has even they today they go down with scuba diving, right? And they think they know a little bit, but they don't know much. There's a whole world down in the ocean. It's a whole world. Damn it. Ki mishu ish chayil, and someone that's a warrior, someone that's a chayal, he's a warrior, he's a strong person. That means he's not a lazy person. He can reveal this. B'shvil zeh nistaknu kol habrachas achronos. And therefore, the rabbis, the great rabbis, and the great assembly established for us to make these blessings after we finish eating, right? After we finish eating, then you thank Hashem again. Why is that? Kidei lahamshech al atzmai hayira. To remember, wait a second, I may have forgotten when I was eating. But now I finished eating and I realized, wait. I just ate this and I feel so full now. I feel so good now with the food that Hashem gave me. So now I'll make the after blessing. To give me that yira. Why do I feel satiated? Who gave me the ability to chew this food, to swallow this food, the saliva, and everything that works with it, to taste it in the palate? All of the things that work, we just take it for granted, right? All the things that it's not simple, right? You eat your food, you need the saliva, right? You could tell us about, right? That you have the saliva, right? And you need the teeth, you got to be able to chew it, right? Got to be able to chew it. It's all about the yira, Misham kol brachas v'aidos bebechinas yiras Hashem he tisalo. He who blesses Hashem, he will be praised. Right? Yiras Hashem he tisalo. The fear of Hashem, that's praiseworthy. When a person fears Hashem, that's praiseworthy. Right? Shayidei ze ika aras arotzai. V'hayira v'arotzain ze bechinas reyach. The whole idea of the yira and rotzan. Here, look at this, how he's putting this together. This is so beautiful. He built an edifice over here. And this is beautiful. Watch this. V'hayira v'harotza zeh bechinas reach. When it comes to yira, fear of Hashem, and rotzen, will, the will of Hashem, that's part of reach, that's part of smelling. It's something lofty. It's not part of something from this world. This is something different. It's something different. Va'arechoi b'yiras Hashem, like it says in when it comes to Mashiach. Mashiach is going to have a nose to smell. He'll smell. He'll know who's righteous, who's not righteous. He'll know what's good and what's bad, based on the reach. You hear this? Right? Mashiach, he's going to have a good nose. He's going to be able to smell what's right, smell what's wrong. What's the matter, David?
It's proof I'm not Mashiach. I don't have the sense of smell.
Oh, okay.
You could pray for smelling.
No. But this smell, you can smell what's right and what's wrong. Physical. This is not physical smell.
Spiritual smell, huh?
This is not physical. The fact you don't think you're Mashiach could be that you are Mashiach. Okay? All right? No, because you can sense what's right and what's wrong. That's part of Reach. As Rabbi Nachman wrote about this many times, especially in lesson 20, letter 10. Okay, וזהו גם כן בחינס הרוצן המופלג שהוא בחינס ריח כי מגיע לרוצן השתוקקות נפלא להשם יתברך שאינו יודע כלל מהו רוצה. Sometimes you get such a pine, you want to get close to Hashem, you don't even know what you want. I just want to get close to you, Hashem. I can't explain it. I don't understand. I just want to be close to you, Hashem. I have no idea what it means. I don't know how to do it. I don't know. But he says now, shezeh bechinas reach toiv, sheini yedei klal, mahu roitza, rak kimon the orach recha, like someone that smells something. Hamur b'Zohar Kodesh, it says in Zohar Kodesh, in Zohar Kodesh, in Shirim, in Ches, bechinas. Here, look at these words. L'reach shemenecha toivim. The smell of the oil. L'reach shemenecha toivim. The good, pleasant smell of the oil. Shemenecha is oils, right? Right, Shalom? Yeah, the oils. That Knesset Yisrael says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we smell these beautiful smells. Shezeh ikar chiyas haneshama k'may shomer b'sein v'skan l'bracha. It's the smell that the neshama smells. See, David, we're talking about the smell of the neshama, not the physical smell. The neshama can also smell.
They translate here.
Yeah.
Intense desire which corresponds to fragrance. For one reaches such a desire and yearning for God that one no longer even knows what he desires.
Yeah, I said that. He doesn't even know what I want. I just want to be close to Hashem. But I don't even know what I want. I don't know what I want. I just want to be close to you, Hashem. That's all I want.
Oh, it's not even for like some specific...
Not specific thing. I just want to be connected. But whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. Hashem is a fire. How can I be connected to a fire? Hashem is eternal, is infinite. How can I be I don't understand it, but I just want to be connected to Hashem.
Okay,
all right? That make, how you understand?
Kind of like my dog who follows me around all the time. I have a bonding with him. Hashem is always here.
Right.
So he's always here. There's a comfort.
No, but this is different than the dog knows who you are. The dog knows who you are, and the dog knows that you give him food. So you think the dog loves you? The dog loves you because you give him food.
And I love God because
if you stop giving him food, the dog wouldn't be following you around him. He'll go find someone else to follow around and give him food. Right? Hashem, we connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? When we connect to Hashem, He gives us our food.
Right.
He gives us everything we need when we connect to Him.
We bond with Him because He's always with us. He's here.
I understand. Okay. Cute. Okay. There's a question in the Brachah. Ika hakibel haschar loasid lovay shu telesa nahare apar semoina daika the yartin tzadikaya la'asid lavai. So there's a concept of there's 13 different lights of smell, parsimon, some kind of spice, right? That are very, very pure, that the tzaddikim are going to be yoirish, that they're going to get in the Eliyasid Lavai. Shezeh ba'atzmai bechinas ma'rav tuvcha shetzafanta l'reyecha. Like we learned this many times, how much good we have stored away for us. We have no idea how much good HaKadosh Baruch Hu stored away for us. We say we do mitzvahs, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is preparing us for dividends and dividends and dividends on our mitzvahs. We have no idea, right? We make an investment. Make them do a mitzvah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes the mitzvah and he invests it, and he invests it, and he invests it. He makes it into something amazing. Remember, right? We learned about that, right? Shu bechinas aras haratzai. We learned the idea from Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai's father-in-law, that people would come and bring him barley. Remember we learned that? They would bring him barley, and then he would and they would forget about it. He would go plant it, and he would go making more and 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 more, and then he would come back years later. Oh, remember we left you some barley. We left you some barley. And he'd say, come with me. And he would show them a whole silo full. Why? Because he reinvested it. He took it and he reinvested it. This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing for us. He's always constantly reinvesting our mitzvahs. And we're getting dividends on our mitzvahs. Unbelievable. Those that fear Hashem. Where do you get your fear? While you're eating. Recognize Hashem. Fascinating. While you're eating, this coffee came from Hashem. I have milk in here. This is from a cow. Came from a cow. I have water. Water came from Shemayim. Came from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? Water. Right? Water. Coffee. Where's coffee come? They grow these beans. Right? They take the beans and they roast them. Fire. Fire, we said, is Yiras Hashem. Remember? Right, the bread, when we break the bread, we always want the darker place to remind us the Yiras and the fire. I can remember that in my coffee. They roasted the coffee beans, right? You ever see coffee beans before they roast them? You know what color they are?
Green.
Green! Did you know that? You know how I knew that? I went to the pantry packers. I never saw a coffee bean. I went there. We were packing, they packed packages for the thing. So I went with my grandkids. We went over there. And they said, okay, we're going to be packing. I said, what is this? This is coffee. I said, since when is coffee green? They said, since when is coffee brown? You understand? Coffee beans are green. Unbelievable. And they send them, so I asked them, why do you send it to them green? Oh, they roast it themselves, they last longer.
Before they're roasted, sure.
Yes, you put it in the oven, you roast them yourself, and then they grind them. They're amazing. I had no idea. I thought coffee beans grow what do you call it, brown. And then oranges, right? Who would ever think that oranges are really a green, and they paint them orange? You know that, right?
Yeah. They paint them. They don't paint
Yeah, go. You can see sometimes you go to the thing, they have green oranges. I would have a green orange. I never saw green. They make them look good. They wax the apples so they look shiny. You know that, right? They put wax on them to make them shiny. Apples aren't shiny.
Yeah.
Right? This is all the shtick they have for marketing. But realize the Yiras Hashem. Ki yira bechinas reach shal yedei zeh zeichen l'rotzein hatoiv hamuflig shu tachlis hareach hatoiv. That's the main thing you smell, is the Yiras Hashem. David, you can smell Yiras Hashem. That means you're smelling. If you fear Hashem, you recognize Shivisi Hashem l'negdi summit. That's smelling. That's the real smelling. That's the real smell. Shezeh bechinas reach Gan Eden. This is the idea of the reach, the smell, the holy smell of Gan Eden. Gan Eden is not physical, David, right? Gan Eden is not physical. Gan Eden is the Garden of Eden is not something physical. It's spiritual. But there's a smell, the reach of Gan Eden. It's spiritual. Shua reach hakarbona shemechaper na'avonos. That's the reach of the the sacrifices, right? The beautiful sacrifices that we brought in the temple, on the Temple Mount. That's ours. That belongs to Israel, right? Right? It's ours. Sheheim bechinas reach ra. The sins are reach ra, right? When a person does an aveira, right? He does a sin, right? It's a reach ra. It doesn't actually smell. It's a spiritual reach ra. David, right? You understand that? A person does a sin. So they say that's a reach ra. It's a bad odor. I don't know. The person says it smelled pretty good to me. He doesn't know. But no, it's a spiritual bad odor. But when you have the tzaddikim like Shlomo Melech, like we learned the Koheles, right? He gathered everyone together. David Moshe Rabbeinu, right? He gathered everyone together. This week's parsha, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem. This week's parsha we're going to read, right? Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem. Now we're all here gathered together, all of us, kulchem. And then Moshe Rabbeinu lists the leaders, the water carriers, the wood choppers, everybody. You're all here. You're all here. And the tzaddik, he helps people to come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mikol Mokim Shu, whoever they are. Because the tzaddik teaches the people, no matter where you are, you can come back to Hashem because He's there. And that's how we get the forgiveness when it comes to Yom Kippur. When we recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when we recognize Hashem, then Hashem says, oh, you recognize me? Of course I'll forgive you if you ask me to forgive you. We learned this so much. Naft. Does naft have a nice smell? No.
What?
Naft. Naft.
N-A-P-T-H. I don't even know what that is.
It's a smell. It's a what do you call it? It's a spice.
Oh,
It has a bit, but nerdi nosan reach. The naf gives me a reach, sweet smell. Well, what is this? That's when the tzaddikim teach us. The tzaddikim teach us. They take the sin. The person did a sin, and they put the sin. They put something over it, over the sin, so it shouldn't smell. They put something over the sin so it shouldn't smell, spiritually smell. And then while the person learns and he gets closer to Hashem, and then he realizes he fears Hashem, then he comes to love Hashem. And then he comes and he does tshuva me'ahava. He does tshuva because he loves Hashem, not because of fear, because he loves Hashem. And he realizes, we have such a beautiful relationship, I don't want to damage that relationship. And when a person does tshuva me'ahava, his zidoinius nasiyas kizechuyos, his sins, iniquities, now turn into merits. So that's why the tzaddik makes sure to keep it hidden. He hides it because it's something that can be turned into a diamond. Right now it's a piece of dung, right? But it can be turned. This piece of dung can be turned into a diamond, when the person does tshuva me'ahava. In lesson 8, we're learning based on lesson 7 now in Tinyana. This is based on lesson 8 in Tinyana, our second book. Nimsa, Sheikha Brachah Achroina Shal Ma'acholim Hu B'Shvil Amshachas Reach Tov. The main reason why we make the Brachah Achrona is to bring the Reach Tov, a good smell, a good odor, a pleasing array, a pleasing odor, pleasing. What's a good word to use? A pleasing fragrance, a pleasing fragrance, right?
Spiritual fragrance or physical fragrance?
No, spiritual. That's bringing together to me this powerful rotzen, this powerful yira. Fearing Hashem is not physical, right? Recognizing Hashem is not physical; it's a feeling. It's not physical. You can't explain yiras Hashem. You fear something, but what is it? It's not something physical. Therefore, when I smell something, I don't make the bracha achrona. The whole point, I'm trying to get the good smell from when I ate something. But when I smell something, that reminds me of spirituality. So I already accomplished what I wanted when I smell. So I don't have to make another bracha after. The bracha achrona that I normally make after is only to bring up a good smell, a spiritual smell. Oh, because I may not have had the right yira. I may not have had the right fear of Hashem when I ate. I may not have had the right, that night, feeling closeness to Hashem when I was eating. Oh, so when I make the bracha achrona, I can reinforce that and I can produce that beautiful smell. The beautiful arrangement. Oh, but when I'm smelling something, I'm already smelling it. So that's smell. Okay, now why is smelling so special? Because, again, back to Adam Arishon and Chava, when they ate from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, it said they touched the tree, they tasted the tree, they saw the tree, but they never smelled the tree. Doesn't say they smelled the tree. They didn't go over and smell it. You know, people have this thing with the esrog. They go smell. They got to smell the esrog. I don't know where that come from.
So they never had that on.
No. They didn't damage. They didn't damage.
Oh, they
didn't damage the scent. They didn't damage the scent of smell. Why? Because they didn't use the scent of smell when they at that chait. So that was pure. So therefore, when I'm eating, they ate. So then if I'm going to get the full benefit of this reach hatoif when I'm finished by eating, I'm going to have to make that bracha achrona to make sure I can turn it into something, a pleasing aroma, a pleasing spiritual sense. Oh, but when I smell something, since it was not damaged already, I can really connect to Hashem right away. I can connect to Hashem. You understand the difference? Yeah. So when I make the bracha achrona, I'm trying to bring up that nice aroma, the beautiful smell, the aroma, the beautiful aroma, spiritual aroma. But when I need that when I ate, because I may not have had the right yira, I may not have had that right desire to get close to Hashem. I may not have had it. But when I make the bracha achrona, I can fix that and I can produce that beautiful smell. You understand? What? You have to go now, Simcha. Yeah. Okay, yeah, go. Okay. Ki kol ha'anosai hu reach. The whole hana is reach. The whole delight is the smell. Shu bechinas tikkun ha'machol, and that is the repair of our foods. When we smell, spiritual smell. Bechinas yira v'rotzon. Yeah, bechinas yira and rotzon. Ki tekiv shemegalanai de bracha rishoyna sh'Hashem is bara zeha reach hatoiv. But when I make the bracha of the reach, and I say, Hashem, you are the one that made this reach type. You are the one that made this thing. Boirei minei v'samim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are the one that made this pleasant, this pleasant thing that I'm going to smell now. Tekiv meya reach hatoiv. You're already revealing the beautiful smell. You're already revealing the beautiful smell because it's something of smelling. And therefore you don't have to make a bracha achrona. Unbelievable. So now we understand why when we do anything with birchas nenin. When I make birchas nenin, I make the bracha of things that I enjoy. So those things, the whole point when I make the bracha is to remember that it was HaKadosh Baruch Hu that made it. He brought this food, HaMoitzi Lechem Min Haaretz. It was you, Hashem, that brought this bread out of the earth. It was you, Hashem, that brought these vegetables out, that brought these fruits out of the earth. It's you, Hashem. And I come to this ratzon, and I come to the fear of Hashem. But if I didn't do that, I want to reinforce it. How do I reinforce it? I reinforce it after when I finished eating, I make the bracha achrona. But when it comes to smelling something, I just make that bracha rishona. I make the bracha on the smell because it brings up the smell right away. I'm smelling and I'm recognizing that was from Hashem. What's so special about that? The sense of smell was not damaged, so I can connect to Hashem with the smell right away. I don't have to make the after bracha after it's smelling something. Okay, now we understand that, I hope.
Conceptually,
Yeah.
Chazal would have told us that when we make the bracha on the samim after we smell it, it would make sense also.
It makes sense. Okay.
Because the smell goes on.
No, but we always make the bracha before we do something. Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes it's you're smelling, you're smelling a flower.
Yeah.
It's bracha.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't know there's a smell until you smell it.
No, but so if you know that there's a certain flower, and this one, the way it smells, like lavender. Let's say you go over to a flower, the lavender. You know it's going to have a nice smell, or maybe a sunflower, or whatever. Some flowers have nice roses. Roses have a nice scent, so then you know that. Yeah, okay, it's interesting, but okay. So let's just explain to us to understand. Really, when we eat something, we're really supposed to come to that recognition of Hashem via eating. This is so fascinating. You come to fear Hashem while you eat if you know what you're doing. It's wonderful.
So,
Mamish wonderful. Okay.
Just make sure, because there's something I may not be connected to here.
Okay.
So, Birkat Hamazon, when we say that,
Yeah.
that's kind of releasing the fragrance after we eat?
Yes. That's the fragrance.
It's the...
Spiritual fragrance. Spiritual fragrance. Yeah, something special to understand. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're learning Kitzur Shulchan Aruch now. We're in Chaf Hei Dinim of Ashrei Uvolatziya and Ad Gemara Tefillah. All right, we're just going to pick it up on we're up to really Zion, but we're going to start again on Vav because this is so important. Va'imrim 6. So we're in 25 and 6. Those following along inside. Va'imrim aleinu l'shabeach. All right, after Ashrei and Uvolatziya and the Yom and the Ein Kelakenu, right? Where we Minik Sfard. Okay, so you say aleinu. V'tzi tzrichin loimrei be'emu v'yira. And when you say aleinu, you have to say it with a fear and an trepidation. You don't just say the aleinu like like some people they're folding their talis and they're taking off their tefillin, right? They even have their cap back on and they're walking out the door and they're saying aleinu. No. You see what he says here? This is Shulchan Aruch. This is not Chasidus. This is not Musar. This is the law. The law is when you say aleinu be'ema uviyira. Here we're talking about fear, right? Hey, we learned about fear, right? Right? You're supposed to say aleinu, recognize what you're saying here. Wait a second. I'm talking to you, Hashem. Reverence. V'Yeshua tiknoi b'shah shekova says Yerichoi, and Yeshua was the one that established this when he took the city of Yerichoi on Shabbos. Remember? Because he had the power of his Rebbe, right? All the other wars Yeshua went to conquer the Canaanim, Yeshua went to war with his sword, right? He went to war with his sword. Only the war of Jericho, the walled, fortified city, he did that war with no sword. No one picked up a sword. No one picked up a shield. No one picked up anything. He walked around they walked around the walls of the city and saying aleinu and blowing the shofar, right? Okay, and blowing the shofar, okay. But the main thing here, he doesn't say that here. That's why he's showing. When you told me that, you're right. But everyone is always focusing on the aleinu saying of the words. That's what they're focusing. But the shofar was there. Yes, I'm asking. And then you say the mizmor of the day. Right, you say the yom, hayom, right? Minig Ashkenaz. So in Minig Sfard, you already said it. Okay, but it's fine, it's okay. And how important the day is. Why is the day so important? Because you're always connecting back to Shabbos. Right? Remember we learned that, right? Hayom, today was Rishon b'Shabbos, right? We just said that. Hayom, Rishon b'Shabbos. I'm connecting the first day is back to Shabbos. So we said the first day is going back for the Shabbos. So the last week's parsha was Parshas Kisavo. So Sunday, Yom Rishon b'Shabbos is Parshas Kisavo. Hayom Sheni b'Shabbos is really Parshas Kisavo. It's connecting. I'm drawing from Parshas Kisavo. And then Yom Shlishi b'Shabbos, I'm still. When it comes to Yom Revi, then I'm on Parshas Nitzavah. I'm grabbing the next parsha. It's the next parsha. But to recognize what we're doing when we're saying the Yom, we're mamish connecting it back to Shabbos. Because why? Shabbos is Mikar HaBracha. What'd you say, David?
Even though we've read the next parsha already on Monday, we started reading it.
But we're still reaping the benefits. We're reaping the benefits on the Shabbos before. That's why we said, David, if you forgot, let's say, whatever something happened, Matzah Shabbos, and you didn't make Havdalah. Whatever something was going on, you didn't make Havdalah. Right?
A few more days. Yeah.
I could have been with me at that time when I was in the hospital, right? I was lucky, Baruch Hashem, when they were riding me past the nurse's station. There was a guy making Havdalah. I said, stop. I told the guy that I heard Havdalah. I got to summon him. It was great. No, it was great. But if I didn't, I left the hospital on Tuesday morning. So if I didn't make Havdalah, I could have gone home and I could have made Havdalah. I could have done that, right? So that's the reason why, David, that's how you know, if you ever want to remember that. If you ever want to remember that you're coming from the last Shabbos, that's the reason why you can make Havdalah till Tuesday night. Once it goes into Wednesday, once Tuesday night's over, you can't make Havdalah anymore because it had nothing to do with that week. It's the next week now. And you can't disconnect from the next Shabbos. It didn't happen yet. You understand? Okay. Oh, you understand that, David?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, good. Okay, the Mizbah of Yom Shabbos. B'chol Makayim v'Makayim Kifim in Hagai. See, David? See what he says here, Rav? Everyone does what they do in their minhag wherever they are. He's telling you, okay, this is in general. When you say Aleinu, make sure you say it and you have fear and intrepidation because you're saying Aleinu. Remember that. Remember how Yeshua was able to conquer the city. Conquer the city by saying Aleinu. I don't know, maybe all of the plugot, all of these soldiers, before they go to battle, they should say Aleinu together with a lot of koiches, right? Put a lot of thing in, because if you say Aleinu, you can conquer. Unbelievable. I mean, maybe it's a good idea. They can all say Aleinu together, right? Why not? As you say in Yiddish, it's kind of shot and it won't hurt anybody, right? Huh?
Probably some soldiers will do that.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, we should ask them. Okay, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and also to remember Shabbos. Okay, we'll stop over here, Chevra. Okay, and tomorrow we're going to learn about when you leave the Beis HaKnesses, you say a beautiful pasuk, Hashem Nenecheni. It's a beautiful pasuk. It's in Tehillim in Kapitel Hey pasuk Tes. We're going to learn about that. Everyone have a wonderful day, please, and we should all hear Besorot Tovot. And thank you, Hashem, for all this beautiful lesson. Thank you.